Obviously, you've a deviant mind. Or is there another reason I'm completely overlooking for your utter inability to fit in?
Well, my mom needs a miracle.
St. Ralph, my mom's in a coma, and I was told by a priest that it would take a miracle for my mom to get out of a coma, and also that it would take a miracle for me to win the Boston Marathon. So when I put them together, I realized that if I win the Boston Marathon, that would be the miracle to get my mom out of a coma.
Boston is one of the world's most prestigious foot races. Anyone on this team winning the Boston Marathon would be a miracle to rival the loaves and fishes.
A miracle?
All right, gentlemen, on your marks.
Okay, then. Let's run some hills.
I've done some running in my background, and I wanted to do a film about running because I haven't thought there was really a great running film. So, and then I sort of thought, what else? And then I sort of got into thinking about doing a film about belief, and at a time in my life where it's like, what do I believe in and stuff like that. And so I was looking around for those themes, and then the idea of this 14-year-old kid trying to help his mom sort of came into my head, and it just evolved from there.
I'll tell you right now, you're never going to win Boston. But if you still insist on running it, I'll coach you.
Hills on the way over were pretty brutal.
The workout hasn't started yet. That's the hill. Run. My character, Father Hibbert, is the kind of, he doesn't really, he's an ex-runner, and our boy Ralph is a runner, becomes a runner, obviously, and that's where he kind of, through the kid, he gets he gets back on track in his own life.
Mr. Walker.
Here's my list. Look.
Against boredom, the gods themselves fight in vain.
You think so?
Nietzsche does. Independent seat work for the remainder of the period. Have you read Nietzsche?
Is he that Chinese guy?
No, he's that philosopher guy.
Here's a Catholic priest. He's actually reading Nietzsche, who, obviously, and I'm not a Nietzsche expert, but one of his main, criteria as he developed his philosophies was that, organized religion is about as heinous as it gets. So it's fascinating immediately that a character like me, who obviously does believe in God and believes in educating kids that way and all that, that he also can find something that's good and intriguing and interesting about what that philosopher was saying.
Sit. You were smoking on school property.
Technically, yes. But I was practically off the grounds.
Technicalities are the cornerstone, Mr. Walker. He has a lot of people on his side. I mean, certainly he has a particular priest on his side. Campbell Scott plays Father Hibbert, and so he's the man with the white hat, and I wear the black hat. Father Fitzpatrick is a bit of a tough character. He's a sort of believes in the power of good, but power is truly prominent in that equation.
You wanted to see me, Father?
Do you know anything about this?
Our editor, Susan Maggi, was watching the rushes one time, and I think we were on Gordon first. She's like, wow, that's incredible.
He needs to learn his place in the world. All of our students need this from us. It's what we do as teachers, Father Hibbert. It's our gift.
And then she would turn around, and we're on Campbell for his side, and she's like, it's a master class in acting.
His mother is dying.
And that's the reason he is still a student here. I'm trying to help the boy. He'll be put in a home as soon as the paperwork is done. Thank you.
You really feel with these guys. They get it, and it's so nice just to see what they can do with stuff that I've written. It actually sounds good because these guys are so good.
Ralph? What's wrong? I'm fine. Just a little lightheaded. That's all.
I play Nurse Alice, who's a no-nonsense nurse. Adam plays a kid that sees everything. He just notices things like, that's odd, that's a little odd. And she sort of befriends Adam's character.
Okay, so ready for rehearsal?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Let's go for rehearsal, Fergus.
Yeah.
Okay.
We auditioned hundreds of different kids. In this story particularly, and he's almost in every single scene. And he's the kind of kid where it's absolutely amazing. We had 2 really tough days off the top because just based on scheduling, it was some of the days in the hospital with Emma, his mom.
I know. I feel the same. Not quite the haircut I had in mind. I think it's too short.
You could pull it off. Not many could.
You make a fantastic scarf selector. Thank you, Ralph.
You're welcome.
Really emotional scenes, and it was going to be a big test to see whether or not we really did have our guy. And he went in there and he just knocked us dead. He just was fabulous.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, Ralph, what are you doing?
I thought the music might wake her up.
Well, it won't.
I know. I know.
The whole set, everybody's crying. The DP, the director, the producers, myself, everybody was wiping away tears at the end of the scene.
You okay? Okay. Jog easy for 5 minutes and we'll try again. The great thing about Adam and about kids who are right in that 14, 15 thing is that they're still kids, though. And so, we all get kind of, we've done this before and blah, blah, blah. And they bring a kind of a, this is movies kind of thing to the set. And you know what? It's good to be reminded of that. And it's good to, see them mess up and do something different because of it. And that's just great.
It's about time we went on a date, Collins.
Really, Walker?
Dinner, maybe. Something formal, but within bike riding distance. I want our first date to be memorable.
We're talking about Ralph, for example. People say, well, he needs to be funny. But Ralph is actually never funny. Ralph is always intense and serious. He's got a great, quirky charm, but funny things happen to Ralph.
You read it yourself, and when it jumps out and grabs you, boom, there's your reason. Lots of reasons why people like movies, but I think there are a good many of those reasons are in this script.
Visiting hours are over.
My mother's room is in 309. I know where it is.
As I've already said, visiting hours are over.
But Nurse Alice always lets me go in anyway.
I'm not Nurse Alice. Visiting hours are over.
Please, it's Christmas Eve.
You can see your mother first thing tomorrow.
It had such heart. It was inspiring, yet it was funny. It was edgy. And poignant at the same time. It had a strange combination of elements that you don't see very often. And that is what is so exceptional about Michael McGowan's script. It is so subtly but expertly crafted in that there's messages. And of course he wants you to feel things, but he presents them in such a way that you experience them. And therefore they're very genuine to you and authentic, and that's very important.
In times of greatest stress, I've always been able to pray. So I wouldn't worry about it. Most marathoners will tell you around mile 20, they start praying for any kind of help they can get.
I think it's almost impossible to make a really good family film or a really good film that's about a kid. Almost impossible. I can count them on this hand, the ones that are truly amazing, or maybe these 2 hands. And this is one of them.
For the moment, the skies are holding. And so, welcome to the 53rd running of the Boston Marathon.